is a waterfall of windmills and rockets and empty baskets. In my heart is a waterfall, bleeding pine trees and lit up windows and poison arrows. In my heart is a waterfall of silver linings and dirty laundry and bedtime pain. In my
Hello, how are you? Hi. And I love the new profile picture. It's so cute. Um, so yeah, here we are. Another set of sprints. Almost all of them unscheduled, always. In fact, this one was scheduled a whole solid 15 minutes ago. Hi, how are you? So yeah, today has been, mostly calm in spite of the weatherman's predictions. The weather people, the weather people keep saying, oh, it's gonna be, badass winds and tornadoes, and I'm like, it doesn't really look like that when it gets over here. I don't know. And well, as it turns out, one of us was right and it wasn't him. But I'm not looking at super fancy models that probably aren't being updated because their funding got cut. So there's that. I am glad for that. I just wish that our weather people would quit trying to hype it up like we get that all the time. They're acting like we get tornadoes and such as much as the Midwest does, and that just isn't true. I'm grateful for it, don't get me wrong. But we get hurricanes. Like, if he was saying there was a hurricane off the coast and we were probably going to be affected by that, I would pay more attention to it. And like the people in Western North Carolina are still working, over a year later, working on recovery from that, because they never did get any help from the government, not from our state and not from the federals. If it was a hurricane, I would absolutely be concerned. But when they're talking about tornadoes here, and at the same time, arriving on the day when the temperature is supposed to drop down like 40 degrees from where it started, and like it never did. The high today was supposed to be 70. It never made it that high. And at like 65, the chances of a tornado drop pretty dramatically. I didn't realize that was in screen. It's Damon's fault. He gets under the desk and lays down and moves my light. There we go. Because I definitely didn't start with it way over here. Oh, and YouTube chat's disconnecting on you. Eh. Although I will say, Charlotte, North Carolina, did get a tornado, and it fucked some shit up. But that is a solid, like, 3-hour drive from here. So, yeah. I do appreciate that the weather can go wild here, but generally when they're saying it's going to, nothing. Meanwhile, like I want to say it was 3 years ago, might be a little bit longer, but a while back, we had straight line winds that took out a bunch of shit and like disconnected the city for I say days, but it was more like a couple weeks that parts of the city were out of power, out of internet, all the things. So yeah, but yeah, today was mostly restful. Oh, he was totally in Charlotte. He was the one that told me about it. He didn't even realize that it had gone through. Apparently, he is in southern Charlotte, and it was up on the north side. But or maybe that was reversed. I don't know. I don't know. At any rate, he found out about it like when he got back to the hotel. He didn't know. And he all he experienced today was heavy rain. So yeah, he's over there, but he was in no danger. So yeah, we're still having windy conditions here. But it's just like some, a little bit of gustiness, nothing major. And the temperature, it's already dropped down to like 50. So, yeah. The worst we need to worry about is tree limbs coming down. But my trees are pretty good, so I think I'm okay. The neighbor, however, I have concerns for their house, but that's because of what they did. So, yeah. And other than that, yeah, I got Damon's meds today. He got his Capra regular release for when he has seizures, which is good because the regular release is way cheaper than the extended release. So yay for that. Hi. huge sticks in the ground. Nope, they ain't fly-worthy. Not even a little bit. No, it definitely did not get him. All right, so I'm gonna get Damon settled in. I'm gonna get my tea ready because if you noticed when I got this scheduled, it was like 15 minutes ago. Well, 15 minutes before 9. And yeah. Oh, you know I moved the light, huh? Any rate, so all the magic, and I'll see you on the other side. did you do? How did you do? I did some upkeep things, admin type things, and I have pirate ship open. But that's it so far. Let's see. Here to tap the like button. Bad storm overhead. I hope you stay safe. Be safe. Are you in Virginia by any chance? Of course, I'm sure you're not still here. So, good evening, friends. I'm working on an essay tonight that I'm writing for funsies. So I'm not tracking my word count. Mainly focusing on research and outlining. I love that. I scrolled. No energy at all today. I honestly, until this evening, I had no energy at all today. I spent most of the day in and out of nap time. I did get up for Damon's blood draw appointment, and I was, functional for that. And I did collecting the medications, but I haven't done a whole lot else because I was just wiped. More words. Yes, I love it. Excellent. Forgot I had Twitch muted, and I closed the YouTube video, so all I had open was the YouTube chat. Oh, that's fun. Ooh, Linda medicated her kid. I love that. I am working on slowly creeping the 8 o'clock medication towards the 10 o'clock medication, so that I can give them both together, as the doctor said that there was no reason to separate them. So I'm working on it. By the way, I can't even explain how miserable the temperature difference is from when I was hanging out with y'all last night. It was around 60 then, and it's 27 now. Yeah, it was in the 60s for us last night, and tonight it's supposed to be like 30. Spring is springing all over the dang place. It doesn't know what it's doing. And at the bare minimum, we don't know what it's doing. So, yeah. So, I am in this next sprint. I'm going to do the shipping labels. I'm not going to do anything else, just the shipping labels. I've decided that if the snow is as bad as they're expecting it to be in the morning, that I might call off work. I have a short commute, but yeah. I mean, depending on where you are, I know here in North Carolina when it snows, driving is horrendous. Not because the snow is any different, because the people are different. And every time it snows here, we have a record-breaking number of accidents across the state. Statewide, record-breaking numbers. Apparently, oddly enough, even though Indiana has snowfall on the regular, the amount of wrecks that they have is on par with our record-breaking numbers, which is wild in my opinion. But then when I lived in Colorado, snow was a Tuesday, right? And then you just went and did your business and tried not to slide on any ice spots that were left over or that got made during the day. But mostly people did pretty good. It's literally a 10-minute drive on the same road as my apartment. But my city's plows don't always keep up with the neighboring towns. Yeah. I know when I drove to Colorado, and when I came in, it had started snowing maybe like an hour before I got there, and it was whiteout conditions. So um, it was an interesting trip, uh, getting to Colorado Springs, and yeah, but I made it. I hung out behind a plow for a while, you know, followed at a respectable distance, um, and yeah, it was an interesting trip, but no wrecks. Unlike here, where I go to the I do. I also have some horrendous photos of when I went through Nebraska, and like the the fucking crickets, yo. Like they were hitting my windshield left, right, and center, and it just so much guts, so much guts. And I lived in Colorado for, I don't know, a little over a year. It was a good place. I liked it. Red Rock, or no, Garden of the Gods. That's what it is. Garden of the Gods is gorgeous. Um, I didn't I didn't do as much exploring in Garden of the Gods as I would have liked, because I am married to a white guy that thinks he is like invincible, like snakes aren't gonna bite him even if he nearly steps on them, that kind of thing. So I was just like, no, I do not want to deal with this. If you get bit, I'm going to be responsible for dealing with it, and I don't, I can't with you. Um, so yeah, um, I have family that live up in North Glen by Denver, and my aunt took me and my husband up to Estes Park. We absolutely loved it there. You should check out Manitou Springs. Go find an all-day parking spot, pay, and just wander around. It's a lovely, lovely place, and they have some really great food there. All right, I have talked way too long. Sorry about that. Sort of. All the magic, and I'll see you on the other side. How did you do? How did you do? I am just about to go and put sticker paper in the printer so that I can print out labels. It's gonna be great. But how did you do? Let's see. There we are. That was the last comment. Hi. In Twitch and YouTube chat. Love it. Hi, hi. Now that my keyboard is protected from a cat laying on it looking at Loki, Cat or Jess, want a cat sit? I'd love to, but how does Loki react to dog? Hello. My cat is lying on my hand, so I'm barely able to hold the phone. Oh. I can dog sit. Oh. Well, that'd be fun. Ah. Hey, cat. Hey, Melanie. Good evening, Heffroon. Kitties must receive the snuggles which they demand. Absolutely. Did nothing. Shoveled all the snow and walked the dogs. Had to do chores first. Excellent work. Had to break Loki's heart about not sitting on my keyboard. I feel that. Wrote some words for the essay's intro. Now I'm stuck on the actual hypothesis. My ideas are too big and I need to narrow them down. Yes, narrow them down. You got this. Did HB90 boot camp stuff. Yes. I also have a kitty named Loki. He lives up to his namesake. Oh, that's fun. Well, happily, like I said, I got all the labels bought and updated. Oh, that's why I had that open. Updated my my author. Hopefully she'll see it eventually. Actually, wait, I don't. Oh yeah, I do need an answer. 758 words. That sprint, yes, and move to Twitch. Fair enough. I can understand. That was a very productive sprint for you, Renee. Right, right. So, and Damon's over here sleeping peaceful. I love it. I love it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to clean this mouse. How did Twitch get muted again? What the hell? I have no idea. I can honestly say that I had nothing to do with it. Beyond that, no, I don't know. I'm sorry it's giving you so much problems. That sucks. I love listening to him snore. It's so cute. I need to clean the kitchen. Hubby made corned beef and cabbage for tomorrow, and we already went through half of it tonight. I love it. I looked over and was like, great, break's almost over. Oh, sorry. Yum. Yeah, sadly it doesn't sound terribly yummy to me. It sounds like a trip to the hospital. But you know, that's because I has allergies. That's not because it's not tasty. So yeah. But yeah, my brain is still misfiring from all the stress. And, you know, I had been wondering why I was so tired during the day recently. That's why. Like, medically, fine. But, apparently it's a normal thing that after you get out of a fairly stressful situation, a situation of heightened stress, it's fairly normal to be just bone tired for a while. So yeah. Ugh. It's been a crazy storm. Hoping it isn't as bad near you. Um, it isn't here, but other people are catching some some of the more rough parts of it. Food allergies are so inconvenient. Why have the full human experience if we can't enjoy all the food? Yeah, sadly, mine is an acquired allergy from a tick. So, um, careful in the outdoors, folks. It takes time for the system to filter it out. Time well deserved. Yeah, I know. I know, but it's tiresome because I have shit to do and shit I want to do. Yeah, then, I don't tend to think about that in regards to myself. Like, would it occur to me for anybody else? Oh, yes, absolutely. But I forget about that for me. So when it occurred to me that that could be the issue, I did a little bit of research to ensure that I was not thinking incorrectly. I was not, but it sucks. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I have been sleeping extra. I hate it, but I've been doing the sleeping. And besides, Damon is so used to me, just hanging out in the bedroom that, like, after so long of me being out of the bedroom and up and doing things, he's like, listen, lady, you need to come lay down. I've had enough of your shit. And then, as if to keep me, planted right there and make sure that he doesn't know um, that I don't get away without his knowledge. He lays down, full body on top of me. It's over the covers and everything, but still, I have my very own weighted doggo blanket. Right? I want to know what mushrooms taste like. Oh, they're amazing. Um, so yeah, I'm not allergic to mushrooms, but I can't eat them and many other foods because of their texture. It's frustrating. Yeah. Is it like all mushrooms or just specific mushrooms? Because some have different textures. Uh, yeah. Uh, and that is, you know, only curiosity, and not to detract from your experience at all. Um, I just have noticed different textures in them. I notice textures, but most of the time they don't bother me. So, all right, let's jump into our. Yeah, actually, I have a question. So, if if you are okay, cool. Um, yeah. If you are like Hafroon, deathly allergic to nuts, and say you happen to be a boy who is deathly allergic to nuts, um, if there is a candy bar that has nuts in it, and it gets slid down the counter towards you, and you recoil, and your girlfriend then picks up said candy bar and like tries to, put it all up in your face, and you shove her back. What are your opinions on that? Like how do you feel about that? I'll definitely finish the rest of the story uh after the sprint, but like, tell me your opinions on on who is the abusive one in that particular scenario. How did you do? How did you do? So, the guy that's been yelling at the dogs decided tonight was a great night to use an air horn. That 100% disturbed Damon, and I'm very unhappy with it. Okay, so let's see. What? No, not cool. Agreed. Oh God, Rhiannon, I thought you were taking that somewhere else. My husband won't even eat mushrooms for fear of exposing me by accident. Then she would be trying to kill me. She is in the wrong there. That's just messed up. Agreed. There have been court cases from similar incidents in elementary schools with bullies. It's dangerous and not funny. And I don't know why, but Jess put up a comment about, play dumb games, win dumb prizes, and it didn't come through at all. I only saw it because I have Twitch pulled up over here. And yes, very weird. I'm really allergic to Miracle Grow, and people thought I was overreacting when I asked them to keep those bags away from me when I worked retail at Home Depot. Yeah. Mushrooms can aerate when cooked. Same as red meat, yeah. And just about anything, really. And my friends and family won't cook them or serve them anywhere in the same house. That must be nice. I'd rate exposing someone to a deathly allergy as no different than, yeah. Husband says assault, hands down, and he'd be furious. When I worked at Cinemark years ago, my one coworker was extremely allergic to the butter they used on their popcorn. She worked up in the box office, but if anyone came up from concessions, they had to wear gloves around her. I worked in a small office where fragrances were banned due to an allergy, and they bought soaps you could draw from to make sure that you were scent-free. Extreme, but it worked. I feel like my office needs to do that. People will spray Febreze to cover up icky smells in the restroom, but people with asthma have had asthma attacks from too much spray being used. Like, okay, yeah, you don't want to smell the ick, but don't make others suffer for longer than the few minutes you're going to be in there. I appreciated it for sure. It sounds like they need poopery. The scent doesn't linger after you flush. My brother-in-law introduced us to it. A few of my in-laws use that as well. Got the kitchen clean and started reading Sanctuary of Shadow by Aurora Asher. Found it at the library, and I'm definitely intrigued. Excellent. The fuck? I'd like to see your mom outside for a few minutes. I just want to talk, really. But so in the story that I told you part of, the parents of the girl were furious that this boy put hands on their daughter. And he came home, and his mother is furious that they tried to kill her son, because obviously that's what it is. And the people in the comment section were telling this woman, you need to explain to them that what she did is attempted murder, that is very much assault with deadly intent, that those kinds of things. And one lady in the comments said something that like, I've seen it I've seen the stories of it having happened so many times, but she said if he keeps dating that girl, her and her family are going to secretly feed him nuts to prove that he's not really allergic, and they're gonna risk his life about it. And I 100% agree. I've seen stories where grandmothers risked their grandchildren's lives to prove some stupid point that their grandchild isn't really allergic. Like, I don't, it doesn't matter if my granddaughter is truly allergic to a thing or not. If my daughter tells me she's allergic to a thing, we're not going to have that thing around. I mean, I wish people gave me the same consideration, but, here the fuck we are. However, I'm still going to give, my grandchild that consideration. I would give my daughter that consideration, even though she has not thus far given it to me. So, yeah. I just, I saw that story and I thought it was insane. And I just, I think all of those stories are insane. And seriously, Hafroon, like, I'd really like to talk to your mom outside for a little bit. We're just gonna talk, really. Set up the coffee pot. Awesome. Smells give me the ugliest headaches. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's always some shit like that, right? It's always like that. And some perfumes smell really nice on certain people while the same brand stinks to high heaven on others. No, you're absolutely correct. It is a chemistry thing. Exactly. Just want to talk outside. It'll be quick-ish. Um, it's so much work to have an allergy. Why would I can't imagine, but like it seems to be a common thing that people think it's being faked. Like I have to assume that like my daughters think I'm faking this. I'm telling y'all what, I miss bacon. And faking a red meat allergy is not worth the loss of bacon. Like, be so fucking for real. What happened to protecting our own? That's scary. It is. Okay, Twitch, the whole muting thing is not fun anymore. I don't know if I'm pushing a button or what, but seriously not in the mood. Oh, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I just, having had these types of experiences myself, I sincerely hope that people think I'm faking it rather than they just don't care, But yeah, it is horrific, having continued exposure to your allergens. It sucks, especially mine, because the thing is, this could have gone away if I had just not been continually exposed to it. So yeah, my mom doesn't realize there are nuts in peanut oil. And I'm still I'm still at this with your mom, her friend, because a lot of them are, the newer ones, but you can also make coffee alternatives out of chicory and dandelion root. Chicory root and dandelion root. The two of those make a coffee tasting, a close to coffee taste drink. So you could absolutely use chicory, and neither one of them has nuts in it. I don't know, that they have, if they would have any other possible allergens. I know they don't have mushrooms, but you could buy the two of those from like mountainroseherbs.com, and make your own coffee substitute if that's something you would like, and it would be mushroom free. I've heard a lot of people are making that switch and loving it. Um, yeah, there a lot of, and the thing is, they're doing it for, at least generally, they're doing it for like the health benefits, but a lot of the health benefits are eliminated with uh, that particular preparation. So yeah, um, I have thoughts, but none of them are nice, so I won't say them. Can I sell tickets to the show at this point? Not insulting anybody's mother's intelligence. Nope, just shut up. It would be fun to experiment with. Yeah, I've actually had it before, because I spent some time being a community herbalist, and yeah, it does taste very close to coffee. It is not exact, not exact at all, um, but uh, it does give you, pretty close to that taste. So if that's something you wanted to do, chicory and dandelion root. Um, it's also most likely a fad though, like avocado toast. Hey, avocado toast is great. I was eating that before it became a fad, damn it. And it's especially great if you put tahini on it. Oh my god. However, tahini is apparently spicy. I don't feel like it is, but I like spicy things, and apparently to like my husband, and it's fairly spicy. So be careful about the tahini. However, I just dump a bunch of that on it. And, it's essentially chili and lime, and it just tastes really good on the avocado toast. Uh, but I'm gonna quit waxing poetic on avocado toast. It was. Um, you know, it's the phases that go through. It's and social media. Oh my gosh! And watch, in a couple years, avocado toast will come back around full circle, be super popular again. All right, here we go. All the magic. Oh shit! This is our last sprint. All the magic, and I'll see you on the other side. I'm glad you got here, and hopefully you got something down that you were trying to do. Um, I was doing some writing to work on the chapter 1 of the book that I need to clean up so that I can just get it over to Jenna. So because like there's a solid 15 chapters. you know, as long as you count, chapter 1 is still it needs fixing. Um, let's see. Okay, so Melanie had to go. Eyelids were drooping. It was time to get away from the desk and get ready for bed. And she hopes everyone had a wonderful night. Night off the shelf, Melanie. Ack popped in just in time to hear Rhiannon say, "This is our last sprint," but did get my tail in the chair. I love that. 172 words. Yes, excellent. Glad it's the last sprint. I am over the mute thing. Yeah. Absolutely. More planning done. Now I need to play it. Or now to play a game. Don't need the timer. No, I don't. Another 459 words. Yay! Excellent. So, yeah, I'm looking for teeny tiny sprunkies. Like 1.5, 2-inch sprunkies. I know a lot of us might think this is 6 inches, but it really is not. Men have been lying to us. So, yeah, I'm looking for sprunkies. My granddaughter loves them. And I did, and all I could find were these plushie things, and like she has the plushies. And they're 8 inches or so. You met your daily word quota. Yes. That's fantastic. I love it. Yes, do the walking. Oh shit, that reminds me. I need to get 10 minutes in myself. Okay, on that note, I am going to go ahead and end this so that I can get my 10 minutes in. So I get my rings closed on my watch. 'Cause right now, rude. I need like 10 minutes to, why? I need 10 minutes to get my exercise ring closed. So I'm gonna head out. Thank you all for being here. I hope you have the best night. If you are a member, we're doing members only tomorrow night, 9 p.m. All that good stuff. And may you all wake rested, refreshed, and ready to kick the crap out of your day. Good night.
In my heart is a waterfall.